For my school reform, I chose to do charter education. Charter education is a school that receives public funding but operates independently from any other public school system or systems where it is located. Some characteristics about charter education is that they have more independence than any traditional school does. They're free for some states and local regulations. They're created to help improve the public school systems and offer parents another public school option to meet their child's specific educational needs. Most are open from the policymakers, parents, and the public. They're concerned the students' grades are below average in the public schools, so their goal is to provide a new structure that they believe will help improve the students' achievements. There are pros and cons about a charter education. So some pros are that there are less students in the charter schools, so it makes it easier for students to have that one-on-one learning with their teachers, which I find very important because some students aren't able to do that if they grew up in a bigger area. And I also read in our textbook that approximately 85% of charter schools are nonprofit, with the remainder ran by the profit companies, such as the National Alliance for Public Charter Schools. I also read that a survey in our book, it's called Barrows, Peterson, and West of 2017, and it's a survey about charter school parents and how they're satisfied with the teacher quality, school discipline, and character instructions, but the public school parents are not. They are also raising standardized test scores if they go to these schools, and those consist of the SAT or even the ACT. And finally, many charter schools have opened the communities, increasing the graduating number of students of color and poverty. So there are some cons. They're more dependent on families and communities to donate and fundraise. Due to charters being small, there are not many to no sports or extracurricular activities, which I find to be unfortunate because you can learn a lot about yourself, and it's unfortunate that these students aren't able to do that being in a charter school. Parents have to look for ways to get their children to school because there are no buses, so they have to rely on one another, or, carpooling is a big thing they could do, but it's hard if you are a working parent and you can't take your child to school. So in a website that I was researching through, a woman stated that she had to do 40 hours a year of volunteer work, which again is hard if you are a working mother. So that's something to think about. And finally, there's no resources to provide for the children that are disabled, which is unfortunate because if it is so great, why can't they get those resources for those students? So what do I think? Well, I think that charter education was originally a good plan that people in the communities thought would help. But in the end, it was far more expensive for the parents. Students weren't able to be a part of extracurricular activities, which are very much important, and aren't able to find ways of making it possible for disabled students to experience a charter education. And that is my reference page of the website I used and our textbook that I used. Thanks.